What is up, guys? Freddy Fazbear 1987 here with another video for you. I got 3 creepy stories for you, and I'm gonna ask you guys to vote on something and talk about stuff. So my first story, before we begin, I'm gonna tell you. Camera's a little low. Hold up, guys. Okay, there we go. Okay. So before we start the stories, there we go, better. Before we start the stories, I'm gonna tell you. Oh man, forget the hat. Sorry, you guys. This is embarrassing. Okay, so before. Oh yeah. Okay, so before we begin, I'm gonna tell you that the stories are old and classic. But yeah. So my first story for today is one called Slenderman, which is a tall, skinny man with no face, and he has 8 tentacles on his back. And what he does is he mostly is in the woods, in the fog, in a city that's like has no people around. But what happens if you see him, then he'll start chasing after you till you start like fearing. Side effects when you see him is like a headache, and you get nauseous and possibly pain everywhere, and then you start like shaking and just too scared to get out of the house. So eventually though he would get you, but no one knows how he kills yet. Until right now, Slenderman is like a 2011 or 12 story. It's pretty creepy. Search on videos on YouTube. Yeah, so that's my first story. My second story is Jeff the Killer, which is a kid named Jeff who lived with the family and his sister. And his sister, and they moved to a new city, and Jeff went to a new school, and people started bullying him, and when he went to a party, the bullies beat him up, and he killed them all. At that same night, though, that same day when he was trying to kill them, one of the bullies burned him. He had to go to the hospital for a couple days, and then when he got back, his face was pale white, and his hair turned black, all burnt. And later that night, he carved a smile from right here all the way to right here, cut off his eyelids, so it was basically like this. I'm kidding. So no eyelids from right here, and he killed all his family members. So now he just roams around killing people. But before he kills people, he says, "Shh, go to sleep." Whispers it into your ear. Sometimes people die. Sometimes you're lucky and you get away. My third story is Robert the Doll. Robert the Doll is a doll made by a tailor in Europe. It came over here, and there's this kid named Robert. His dad got the doll and gave it to Robert. Robert named the doll after himself. But when they were the doll and him were like really close to each other. But when Robert died, the doll stayed at the house where they lived at, and people's been living in the house. But what's weird is that weird things have been going on, like paranormal stuff, supernatural stuff, and eventually the family that would live in the house of Robert would die, and ghost investigators assumed that it was Robert the Doll. So Robert the Doll is not. The Robert the Doll is real. It's a real doll. It's not fake. Search it up on Google Images. Search it up on YouTube. Search it up on anything you can. It's in a museum right now, I think here in Cali, and I'm not trying to like be mean or anything, but I'm just making sure he can't hear me. Okay. You have to take a picture of. If you're gonna take a picture of Robert the Doll, you have to ask him permission. Because if you don't, eventually he'll put a curse on you. And if you don't believe that either, there's a sign that says on the bottom of his sculpture, "Don't photograph without permission." to me it's kind of stupid. I don't know if it's a real thing, but that's a lot of proof. I mean, you know. So that's all stories I have for you today. So yesterday, I made a video and asked you guys to make a vote on books that I was gonna write, because I'm trying to publish a book, but I need votes. I need you guys to put on the comment below, make a comment, and I'm gonna put the list of the books in the description, and I'm also gonna put social media sites on my description. So my first book is I'm gonna change the books, because yesterday I didn't like the books that I came up with. So my first story is about a kid who got bullied and then turned into a bullied and realized that when his father and mom died, he became foster. He realized that he should be the one standing up against bullies. And when he got to high school, eventually the bullies in high school got more violent. And he had to take it to drastic measures to protect his friends. That's my first story, and it's gonna be called I'm the Bully, You're the Bully. My second story is going to be let's put it like oh my god, you guys, I totally forgot. Who did that? Anyways, damn, I got in the zone right there. My second story is going to be about how a man sought to seek revenge on the people who killed his family. And he finds out that the people who killed his family is a terrorist group. So he goes there by himself and is searching down the people one by one. But there's a plot twist. His daughter is still alive. I'm not gonna spoil the rest. That's the second story, which is gonna be called Sought to Seek Revenge. Okay, my third story is, it's going to be about how a man gets a curse from an old woman because he treated her bad. Scratch that out. No, scratch that out. Scratch that. Throw it in the trash. LeBron. Okay, scratch that out. Never mind. This third story is going to be about a book about racism. How a man changes the way of people think. The way that people see blacks and Mexicans. And yeah. So the man goes through all these phases to change racism, to rid of racism, but there's challenges on the way. There's beatings, killings, police brutality, and more. I ain't gonna spoil it. So that one, I want to be called To End Discrimination. So tomorrow I'm also gonna do a video. If you guys know the game Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm going to be explaining the whole story from the very first restaurant to the horror maze, which is Five Nights at Freddy's 3. But I want to have it in two parts because it's a long story. Having the first restaurant, and then Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and then Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and then Five Nights at Freddy's 3. It's just a long story. So I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up, the like, and please subscribe below. please subscribe. I need subscribers, guys. Like, please. Tell you what, if you give me subscribers, I will eat 5 hot chili peppers. Possibly ghost pepper wings or ghost peppers. That's if you help me get subscribers. So that's all I have for today. See you guys later.